Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they never learn how to command themselves. They wake up every morning negotiating with their own potential. They wait to feel motivated. They wait for the perfect time. They wait for certainty. And while they wait, life keeps moving without them. Dreams die quietly that way, not in explosions, not in tragedy, but in hesitation, in distraction, in unfinished goals and broken promises whispered to yourself at midnight. And the painful truth is this: the life you want is already demanding a price from you. The question is whether you are willing to pay it. Because every great life is built by discipline, not luck, not talent alone, not connections. Discipline, the unseen force that turns ordinary people into unforgettable names. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before he lit the world. Most people remember the invention, but they forget the endurance. They forget the nights when exhaustion sat on his shoulders like iron. They forget that greatness is never created in comfort. It is created in repetition, in obsession, in showing up when the excitement is gone. That is what discipline is. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self-respect in action. It is the decision to keep going long after your emotions beg you to stop. And if you do not master discipline, you will spend your life being mastered by excuses. Look around. Most people are addicted to distraction. They consume more than they create. They talk more than they execute. They admire success from a distance while refusing to live the lifestyle that success requires. Everyone wants the reward. Few want the process. But the process is where power is born. A sculptor does not create a masterpiece with one strike of the hammer. He shapes it slowly, patiently, ruthlessly. Every hit removes what does not belong until greatness is revealed. That is exactly what discipline does to a human being. It removes weakness, cuts away confusion. It burns away laziness. It transforms potential into identity. And one day, the world calls you extraordinary without ever seeing the sacrifices that made you that way. There is a version of you that already exists in the future. Stronger, calmer, focused, wealthy in mind and spirit. A person who walks into rooms with certainty instead of fear. That future version of you is not built by motivation. It is built by daily decisions. The small decisions nobody applauds. Waking up early when the bed feels impossible to leave. Studying when entertainment calls your name. Saving money while others waste it trying to impress strangers. Training your body when your mind looks for comfort. Remaining focused while the world drowns in noise. Success is never one giant leap. It is thousands of invisible victories. Henry Ford did not build an empire because he had fewer obstacles. He built it because he refused to surrender his vision to temporary defeat. Abraham Lincoln lost elections, failed in business, and carried pain that would break most men. Yet he continued forward because purpose gave him endurance. And that is the difference between the average mind and the disciplined mind. Average people ask, "How do I feel today?" Disciplined people ask, "What must be done?" One mindset creates comfort. The other creates destiny. You cannot build a powerful life with a weak routine. Your habits are either building your future or destroying it. Every hour matters. Every morning matters. Every repeated action becomes a vote for the person you are becoming. The world has convinced people that discipline is restrictive. But the truth is the opposite. Discipline creates freedom. Financial freedom comes from disciplined decisions. Confidence comes from disciplined preparation. Peace comes from disciplined thinking. A strong body comes from disciplined habits. A powerful reputation comes from disciplined character. Without discipline, chaos enters everything. And chaos is expensive. Costs people their dreams, their health, their relationships, their purpose. You must understand something that most people never realize until it is too late. Your life is shaped more by what you repeat than by what you desire. Everybody desires success. Everybody desires happiness. Everybody desires wealth. But desire without discipline is hallucination. The bridge between vision and reality is built with repeated action. That is why the greatest battle you will ever fight is not against the world. It is against yourself, against the weaker voice that says, tomorrow, against the fear that tells you to play small, against the comfort that slowly poisons ambition. Because comfort is seductive. It whispers softly, tells you there is always more time, convinces you that average is safe. But nothing destroys human potential faster than a comfortable excuse. Walt Disney was fired because someone said he lacked imagination. Imagine that. The man who built worlds was once told he could not dream. But disciplined visionaries do not allow rejection to define them. They use it as fuel. Every giant in history faced resistance. Every empire was built through difficulty. Every meaningful achievement demanded sacrifice. You cannot escape the law of sacrifice. If you want the dream, you must become worthy of the dream. That means mastering your mornings instead of being conquered by them. It means controlling your mind instead of letting negativity control you. It means doing the work long before results appear, because results are delayed. That is why weak people quit. They plant seeds and dig them up every week because they cannot see the roots growing underneath the surface. But disciplined people understand something powerful. Invisible progress is still progress. The oak tree does not become mighty overnight. For years, it strengthens underground before the world ever admires its height. Your life is the same. Right now, you may feel unseen, unrecognized, exhausted from effort. But every disciplined action is building something beneath the surface. Strength, character, wisdom, resilience. And when your moment arrives, people will call you lucky because they never witnessed the years of silent preparation. That is why you must protect your focus. Energy is life. Attention is power. Where your attention goes, your future follows. If you feed your mind fear, doubt will grow. If you feed your mind purpose, power will grow. Napoleon Hill wrote that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But belief is not magic. Belief must be reinforced through disciplined action. Otherwise, it becomes empty fantasy. You build belief by keeping promises to yourself. Every time you follow through, your mind begins to trust you. Every time you quit, your confidence weakens. Self-confidence is earned internally before it is displayed externally. That is why discipline changes everything. It rewires identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who tries. You become someone who finishes. And once that shift happens, your entire reality changes. You walk differently. You think differently. You tolerate less weakness from yourself. You stop begging life for opportunities and start creating them. Because disciplined people do not wait for ideal conditions. They create momentum in imperfect circumstances. Rain or sunshine, praise or criticism, failure or success. They continue. That is power. The world belongs to people who can endure. Not the loudest people. Not the most gifted people. The most consistent people. The ones who continue after disappointment. The ones who rise after humiliation. The ones who stay committed after the excitement disappears. Anybody can start. Very few can persist. But persistence transforms human beings into forces of nature. And one day, after enough disciplined mornings, enough painful sacrifices, enough lonely nights spent building instead of complaining, you will wake up inside a life that once felt impossible. Not because fate chose you, but because you chose not to surrender to weakness. You chose growth over comfort, vision over distraction, purpose over excuses. And in that moment, you will understand the truth most people spend their entire lives avoiding. The dream life was never created by wishing. It was created by discipline.